I am not a morning person. Bullshit. That was a straight minute of bullshit. Hey guys, today we are going to talk about James Turrell, who is one of my all-time favorite artists, which is why I thought it'd be fun to make this video about him. There's a ton of hype around him right now because of Kanye West's new Jesus is King movie. I recently saw it in LA a few days ago, so we're gonna talk about that. And then on top of all of this, we are also going to visit one of his art installations at Pomona College. I will add in the footage from when I went, and you are going to want to watch it because we are going to learn a shit ton about James Turrell right now, and then we're going to see an art installation. It's all gonna make sense and all come together. And I drive there at 5 a.m. because there's a special light program that only takes place at sunrise and sunset. And I was like, well, I feel like sunrise would be really epic. And I am not a morning, like I'm so bad at waking up. So it was literally a miracle that I pulled it together and drove to Pomona at 5 a.m. And it was so worth it though. So we'll see that later on in the video after we do some learning. You know, I just really want this video to be interesting and add value to you. So we're gonna do a little bit of everything. We're going to get a little wild. I hope you learn a bit about James Turrell, him and Kanye West. And then yeah, we're gonna see his art in action. That's what we're gonna do today. That sounded annoying. That's what we're gonna, I don't know. I'm new to this. I'm still new. Oh, by the way, hi, I'm Jess. This will, if I end up uploading it, this will probably be my first YouTube video ever. And I'm not really sure what I'm doing entirely. We're gonna try it because life's all about trying new things. We're just gonna do it. Hope you have fun. He is an American artist, born in Los Angeles, and he works in the medium of light. So you know how you have like artists who are sculptors and they're known for like their bronze sculptures? James Turrell, he works in light, like literally just pure light. And we're not talking like light installations where you can see the bulbs and it's like really cool looking. It's straight up just pure light and channeling that light. I'm going to insert some images of his art installations here. And he doesn't have a particular object or subject for you to focus on when you're looking at it, you know? So it gets to the point where all you recognize or all that you can think about is the act of seeing. He wants the viewer to see themselves seeing and recognizing that experience. So like, what's the big deal about light? Well, if you think about light, especially in the context of art history, light is a very important symbol. If you look at all these famous artists like Monet and Rembrandt, Goya, like light is such a huge focus, and they're all, you know, playing with their own ideas of how they're using light and what light is illuminating and how our eyes see light. And most of the time light is trying to you know, draw attention and illuminate what the artists are trying to get you to focus on. But for Turrell, light itself is the thing. There's a quote that I think sums him up really perfectly. Turrell said, "Light itself is the revelation." Something like that. We'll look it up. He also like thinks about the idea of, you know, humans and their connection to light. Very primal. It's very, you know, light has always been this important thing. I mean, we literally need sunlight and light to function. You know, we go outside and we soak up the sun, and so light is not only this like visual thing, but it's also very physical, and that's also what James Turrell is tapping into. I think I love his works because it really forces you to be present and really in the moment, and you're just kind of immersed in his works. There's no way for you to just kind of like walk by his works and, you know, you're at a museum, and I think I read somewhere that like people spend about 15 seconds on a painting and then they walk on by. And for James Turrell, he's really going out of his way to slow you down. I mean, I already love going to museums or looking at art when I'm stressed out, but his works in particular just really calm me down. And there is this quality about them that's very spiritual. So James Turrell grew up in a conservative Quaker family. That had a huge influence on his art. Another interview I was watching, he would talk about how his grandma would tell him, you know, go in and greet the light when he was going into a Quaker meeting house. And I don't know a ton about, you know, Quaker meeting houses or beliefs, but I do know that the Quaker meeting houses are very, you know, simple and like minimal in its design, because it's all about you focusing your attention inward and not being distracted by things around you. Like it's very like simple. And when Turrell was younger and he'd sit in these Quaker meetings, he would think about how he would change the design of the meeting house and how he would often picture the meeting house with the ceiling removed. And that's cool because now he's designed a few Quaker meeting houses with Skyspaces. So Skyspaces, I love them. He began to create these in the 1970s, and it's essentially a room or chamber that where the ceiling or canopy covering, there's an opening to the sky. And the opening to the sky can be in a variety of shapes. I've seen some that are squares or circles. He frames the sky and creates this really cool optical illusion that the sky is somehow really close to us. And it also just gets you to focus in on the sky and its light in a way that you haven't before, like just really changing the way you perceive things. And he'll often use colored lighting, like the one we are going to see in Pomona later in the video. And the lighting will change the color that the sky looked. You thought was just blue, you start to question. He has over, I think, 80 around the world. So highly recommend visiting one if you can. Google them and see if there's one nearby. There are so many cool sky spaces that I now want to see. Is this channel going to turn into me just visiting every single sky space? I feel like that would probably be boring for you guys. I would have a blast, but maybe I might do it. I think I'm gonna do it. Also, this is another cool thing that I learned recently. James Turrell, for a lot of his art installations, you know, you have to like walk into them. Oh my God, I went to the coolest fucking installation in Japan. I was on Naoshima Island, which is this crazy cool art island. Maybe I'll do a separate video on it, but honestly, it was amazing. But there's a James Turrell art installation at the Chichu Art Museum where you like took off your shoes and you walked up the stairs into this glowing square light. Like from afar, wow, I'm so excited. I'm like, and you think that that's the art piece, but then people who work at the museum guide you and they say walk up to the top of the stairs. So you walk up to the top of the stairs and you realize, wait, you could walk into this glowy square room of light. Like you thought it was like a solid object. And then they let you walk into it, like far into it, and your eyes just trip out. Like you're literally just surrounded and enveloped by this bright neon green and blue. And it's honestly amazing. It's a trip for sure. But oh yeah, what did I say? I learned that many of his art installations start off being really dark, or like, you know, leading up to it, it's a dark space because your, if I can talk, your pupils open up more in the dark. And so he wants to like get that to happen, and then you experience his art. So he's just like really playing with the way we see things. This massive art installation project in northern Arizona, and it's James Turrell's life work, essentially. He's been working on it for over 40 years, and Roden Crater is literally an extinct volcano. Turrell flew over America looking for an ideal location for his next art project, and he saw Roden Crater, decided to acquire the land, and now is building this massive complex underground tunneling. Like there's a lot going on at Roden Crater. Turrell is in the process of turning it into a naked eye observatory, and when it's complete, I think he envisions it having around 21 different spaces of, you know, art installations or sky spaces. When he was picking the location, one of the reasons he chose this extinct volcano is because, I mean, he's always had a fascination with ancient Egyptian pyramids, and he liked the idea that this volcano was somewhere in the middle between, you know, heaven and earth, or the cosmos and what's in front of us, and it was this middle space. And so I think that was one of the reasons that he was drawn to it. And also he calls it a pre-made ruin. Like he wants this to be around for thousands of years. He wants it to be around for eternity. It's not complete yet, so you can't visit. It is my life dream to visit one day. Kanye is a huge fan of James Turrell's work and recently donated $10 million to Roden Crater. The reason there's so much hype right now around James Turrell is because of Kanye West's new IMAX film, and a lot of it was shot inside of Roden Crater. I saw Jesus King a few days ago. I thought it was visually stunning, and of course I'm coming in with the lens of being like very big art nerd James Turrell fan. So I know I have a different takeaway from it than like someone that just goes in not knowing anything. Like I was probably just being like extra hyper observant of like all the art things. If you've seen the movie poster, I like to call it, looks like a key, like a keyhole. Like, you know, if you think about like an old school key and like the lock, it looks like that to me. But anyway, you see that in the movie, and it's like this long hallway that leads to a sky space with a golden stairway. And most of the video looks like it took place in 2 different sky spaces. And the way it was shot really emphasized getting the sky in almost every shot. I mean, I guess, you know, if you're shooting in a sky space, I mean, I guess it makes sense. You want the sky in it. I also loved how it really, you know, emphasize the fact that sky spaces are like constantly changing due to, you know, the weather condition or time of day. And you could visit a sky space multiple times and it'll never be the same. In a lot of parts of the film, you know, you'd see the clouds going by, or it'd just be really clear. You could tell it was later in the day and the light was changing inside of the chamber. Kanye brings in his Sunday service choir into the sky spaces. I think it's like such a cool setting and venue for his album, especially because Turrell and Kanye are both very spiritual, and you know, and light plays a really big role in that. Now we are going to jump to the footage of me going to Pomona College to see James Turrell's Skyspace there. Now that you have a little bit more of a foundation of who he is, a little bit more background, we're gonna go check that out. He actually graduated from Pomona College, fun fact. Also, I am going to include this little cheat sheet. Screenshot it now. Did you get it? Screenshot it now. This is a little cheat sheet of all things James Turrell. I mean, not all things, but you know, at a glance, you just, you know, forgot some key points. You wanted to, you know, be able to brush up on it later and flex on all your friends. Weird flex, but you know, flex on your friends. Also, shameless plug, follow me on Instagram if you just, you know, want that daily fire art content, and I swear it's entertaining. I mean, if it's not, let me know. No, just lie to me, tell me it's fun. So let's jump into the Pomona footage. Apologies, I do not do well early in the morning. I'm much more of a night owl, but you know, we're trying our best. We're all just trying our best. And yeah, so let's go to Pomona. Made it. Let's find this thing. Okay. Oh my God. I found it. Guys, I can't believe I made it. It's so cool and it's so pretty. I think it's about to be sunrise. What time is it? Where's my phone? Oh shit, like 3 minutes. I don't think the video is doing this justice, but it's really trippy. And the more you stare at it, the more your eyes are just like, what am I looking at? I'm looking at light. We made it. That's cool. Take this. This is gonna be my little souvenir. Ooh. Should I go back and get another one? Should I like hang this in my room? Oh wait, I'm gonna put this on my ceiling and I'm gonna oh my god, it's cold. Okay, we're going. Wow, we did it. We're back. We're back. We did it. We saw James Turrell's Dividing the Light at Pomona College. We talked a bit about his background and how Kanye shot at Roden Crater. It was honestly really cool, and if you're in the LA area, worth checking out. So I hope you guys found this interesting, and until next time, bye!